villages have been resettled. The President's policy manifesto will be released within the next 10 days. Sri Lanka's foreign reserves are steady. And on foreign, Iran is to demand compensation for British occupation during the First World War. And now the news in detail. Local stories first. President Rajapaksa has underlined that the present government succeeded in surmounting the challenge of developing the village during the last 4 years.
මේ යන ගමන ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න. කොන් වෙලා තිබිච්ච ගම මේ රටේ සංවර්ධනයට යා කරගෙන අපි අද හිතන්න ඕන හෙටක් ගැන. ඔබේ අනාගත දරුවන් පිළිබඳව අනාගත පරපුරක් පිළිබඳව. ඔවුන්ටයි අපි මේ රට හදලා තියන්න ඕන.
The President said the Mahinda Chintana should be carried forward. The marginalized village should be developed and a future ensured. Due consideration should be given to the future of the children. The country should be developed and inherited to them. If so, it should be built for them. It is with this intention that they are getting ready. A 10-year plan should be in place for this purpose. Measures should be adopted to take the country to achieving that goal. A moral society should be built without drug addicts, drunkards and those who do not care for the elders. The President noted that the country needed a society safeguarding the culture and identity and which can step into the new world.
ඒ සඳහා අපි කැප වෙලා ඉන්නේ. හෙටට හැදෙන සමාජය. අපිට කුඩුකාරීන්ගෙන්, මත්කාරීන්ගෙන්, බේබද්දන්ගෙන්, අම්මට තාත්තට වැඩිහිටියට සලකන්නේ නැති සාර ධර්මයෙන් තොර සමාජයක් අපිට ගොඩනගා අඩින්න තියන්න බෑ.
The President was addressing a gathering of SANASA members and some of the officials. The meeting took place at the President's house in Kandy. The cooperative movement was seriously impacted due to the adherence of Western economic policies in the past. He pointed out that his government was able to strengthen the cooperative in the village, which was more closely affiliated to the rural fraternity. The President declared open the 137th Laksatus outlet established at the DS Senanayaka Mawatha in Kandy. Among those present were Ministers Bandula Gunabarthana and Rajitha Senaratna. More than 50% of the displaced in welfare villages have been resettled in their places of origin. Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe made this disclosure at a media briefing at the Media Centre for National Security.
Those who are in the camps in Vaunia at the moment, as of today actually, is 87,241. The total number who are out of the camps since 1st of December is 21,332 as of today. Now, if you look at the total to be resettled, it would be those who are in the camps at the moment, which is 87,241, plus those who are out of the camps on the from the 1st of December, which is 21,332. So the total to be resettled would be 1,08,573. Yesterday we resettled 1,002 persons in Kilnochi. Altogether 13,016 persons have been resettled in Kilnochi from Vaunia. 59,830 have been resettled in Jaffna. 2,514 in Batiklo, 6,700 in Trincomalee, in Mana 10,069, in Vaunia 23,979, in Ampare 591, in the Mullaitivu district 10,640, in Kandy 12, Polannaruwa 1. So 127,352 have been resettled up to today. As you can see, the 50% figure, of course, has now passed. I also want to tell you,
Minister Lakshman Yapavewardena has revealed that the policy manifesto of the President as the presidential candidate will be released within the next 10 days. Addressing newsmen in Colombo today, he said it has been crafted with the aim of developing the country. Further briefing newsmen at the Media Ministry and of course of Information, he pointed out that the statement gives priority to improving the standard of education and further solving the unemployment issue. It will be a policy that would enable all Sri Lankans to live in a peaceful country, immaterial of all differences. Students who did not succeed in entering universities after sitting ordinary and advanced level examinations will have the opportunity of engaging in vocational training. It is also targeted at developing the infrastructure of the country. 5 ports will be built at the same time in addition to an airport. Other infrastructure is already in place. These, the minister added, will ensure a brighter and prosperous future. The government is implementing several programs to help the civilians of the north to lead a happy life. This was emphasized by parliamentarian Basil Rajapaksa.
අද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ජනතාවත් උතුරේ ජනතාවත් බොහොම සන්තෝෂෙන් සතුටෙන් අද සාමේ අගය භුක්ති විඳිනවා.
He pointed out that Sri Lankans, including the civilians of the north, are happily reaping the dividends of peace. The government, headed by the President, was in the process of extending all the facilities required by the resettled civilians to engage in agricultural activities and fishing. International agencies are giving maximum support to the government in these efforts. Mr. Rajapaksa expressing his gratitude to the honest assistance extended by the government of China at a time when some were only giving advice.
මේ ආධාරය අවංකව අපිට ලබා දීම ගැන ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
Basil Rajapaksa was addressing a function at the Presidential Secretariat. The occasion was the handing over of 2,000 tents gifted by China for the benefit of civilians liberated from the terrorists. The donation is worth 128 million rupees. Assistant Governor of the Sichuan province of China handed over the consignment to Mr. Rajapaksa. China's ambassador to Yang Xiongping was present. Still on local news, Sri Lanka's foreign reserves were steady at $5.2 billion by December 18th, boosted by foreign inflows into debt markets and International Monetary Fund loans. The central bank said that by end November, gross official reserves, which include fiscal balances, were $5,228 million. It is up from $4,822 million by end October. Reserves with balances at the Asian Clearing Union, a regional settlement arrangement, were $5,308 million by end November. The central bank said $262 million had flowed into short-term treasury bills and $1,068 million into treasury bonds. Remittances from expatriate workers had increased 12.9% to $2,774 million to November, after 12.9% from a year earlier. Remittances were $557 million above the trade deficit. The central bank has been sterilizing inflows by selling down its treasury bill stock. A suspect arrested for attacking ITN journalists at the UNP convention is remanded. The journalists were assaulted at the Navaloka grounds in Vattala on the 5th of this month. Following inquiries, the CID arrested a suspect and produced him before the Vattala Magistrates Court. He is Nandasiri Gunatilaka of Kurunagala. He is charged under the Public Property Act for causing damage to an ITN camera. The court remanded him until the 30th of this month. The CID had inquiries are afoot to apprehend other suspects. Two new ministers, Johnston Fernando and Indika Bandaranaike, have assumed duties. Johnston Fernando assumed duty as the Office of Land Development, Human Settlement and Runaway Welfare at the Lands Ministry today. Speaking on the occasion, the new minister said that he joined the government to express support to the president as he is the most appropriate leader for the country. Ministers Jeevan Kumaratunga, Mahinda Ranatilaka and Indika Bandaranaike were present. Meanwhile, Natural Resources Minister Indika Bandaranaike also assumed office at the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources at Battaramulla. Among those present were Ministers Partli Champika Ranawaka and Johnston Fernando. With that, we now take a look at foreign news.